Okay, guys, good morning once again. Today's the 10th of September, Friday. Yay! Once again, Friday, my favorite day. All right, for me, it's that this, which means that this is going to go to the weekend and I can take a break once again. All right. Now, I know that basically today is also a very important day because today, yep, I'm in the office, King Hua. All right, today is a very important day because today is the last day that Susan will go live. Yay! Because she has promoted to our assistant chief trainer. All right. Now, Susan has been with me for more than 5 years. And Susan has also been very dedicated, very patient. In fact, the most patient, team leader for a long while. And of course, recently we asked her to, up the, her level, and then asked her to conduct this so-called Susan Go Live. Now, of course, at the time when we had this idea itself, right, Susan was like, oh, really? But I think she has done a fantastic job. Indeed, she's done a fantastic job. And of course, more than 200 people now have come online to continue to support us. And I think that that is where I think that she deserves this promotion. And of course, for her, now it's time to move on. Okay, so I'll talk about this later. But before we talk to Susan, we will know that today, the caption for today is time to call Federal Jerome Powell. All right, I'll talk about this later because apparently, right, probably now there will be a need for Jerome Powell to talk to this, to get things started moving because more and more federal chiefs, federal officials are actually getting a bit worried of the current situation. And of course, Janet Yellen have just contacted Nancy Pelosi, regarding about the current economic problem that they are facing. All right, so there are lots of stuff to share with you. Let's begin. Now, before we start this morning, once again, I always start this morning with the real truth of the stock market. This is a cartoon once again. You should be proud that we beat the earnings that analysts expected. Why should we be proud that analysts are bad at making estimates? Okay, those bad estimates don't happen on their own. I have to mislead them. I'm proud of you. All right. I think this is another great joke here. So I know that recently when I put out these jokes, people like, oh, what's it all about? But eventually you sit down and look through these jokes once again, over and over again, you realize that this is how the real financial market work. All right. A lot of time itself, right? Analysis and those analysts, they get mistake. It's not because they are wrong or they're lousy. It's because that it depends on how the players, the main players, put across the message to them. And obviously, if you tell me something, I will just listen to you and then I make my judgment. And of course, if you mislead me, then of course, my report will be different. So that is why I say that this is her real truth of the stock market. But of course, it will take a while to digest. Hopefully you understand that. All right, okay, disclaimer as usual. All right, do understand this, okay? Once you read the above, you accepted it and you identified me, okay? All right, like I say again, Susan is promoted to our assistant chief trainer. That means that anytime itself, okay, if I'm not around, example, or I'm sick, or I'm tired, or I really need to take a break, Susan, I think, will be the best person to come on and actually share with you guys, okay? Isn't that great? Now, of course, Susan is a very soft-spoken lady, but her understanding of the techniques, her understanding of how to use it has been really top class, all right? And a lot of students have feedback that she's pretty good with this, all right? So in fact, ever since we started, right, we have more than 200 over members coming online and then listening to her. But of course, like I say, we need to move on. The reason why we're doing this because we want to expand. Now, this crazy mobile app will really start to move on now because we have also settled some other stuff. And I think that it's a good time to start this moving. So that's why I need to put all my time and concentration towards this. So Susan will come on board to take care of all the other students, all right? So we will be doing a lot of new stuff coming in from November onwards, a lot of new changes, a lot of great stuff coming on board. So for Susan, all right, this will temporarily stop. Susan Go Live will temporarily stop. There's new arrangement for Susan, okay? All right, we'll let you know more as the time goes by, all right? Okay, guys, once again, Susan, today is our last day. So hopefully a lot of you guys will support her, okay, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., okay? All right, so the US economic data and calendar today, we will have the PPI data, but yesterday, the jobless claim was 310,000, okay? The market was looking at 335, it came out 310. So it was better than expected. That means that the market likes it because why? That means that lesser people are jobless, so that's why the stock market went up. But after it went up itself, right, it came back down on profit taking. So I'm not too sure what happened. I'll look at the news later. But today will be the PPI. Now the PPI have been moving up. We can see since June, the PPI to May, in fact. Since May, the PPI data was down. Then after in June, it just shoot up. Then July, August have been at 1% level. So the market says that today there's to be a dip. Now, if this number dipped to 0.6, this could actually help the whole economy because that means that inflation is not that high, okay? But of course, if let's say this data is higher than 0.6, and we come out like 0.8 or 0.9, then the market will really be pretty worried about this, okay? But of course, we will let the market decide. But let's look at yesterday, who are the winners? Now, yesterday, there are 2 winners, yay! All right, yesterday, Angeline and Azar, apparently they gave the same number, 308. Oh my goodness, they are so accurate. Angeline and Azar, are you around this morning? All right, congratulations. Since you guys gave the same number, so the 6.8 ADA coin will be shared to 2 of you. That means each of you get 3.4. Okay, so we later on, Susan will contact you. Congratulations once again. Wow, you're also accurate. Wow, really good. Okay, so congratulations. Wow, Azar, you're here. Okay, what? Yeah, early morning, you what already? All right. Okay, let's continue. So let's look at the Dow Jones last night. The Dow Jones was initially went up, right, because the initial jobless claim was good. But after that itself, right, it hit a peak. It came down to the opening price. And then after that, towards the end of the day, there was some profit taking. So apparently now the market is kind of like worried. It said, hey, what's going on? Because we're having a 4th day in a row. You know why? The Dow has fell for the 4th day in a row, okay? And it's another 150 point. So is this just basically a normal technical correction, or is it the starting of the whole market coming down? We really don't know, honestly. All right. I'll tell you more on the charts later, but the thing is this, we can see right now that the Dow Jones was dragged down by Amgen and Merck because there's some worry say that the general economic, the logistics side is a bit of worry. And of course, they're all looking at whether the Delta variant will continue and can the economy recover, and of course, whether Federal Reserve will actually do the tapering that everybody is concerned for. All right, thank you, King Hua. Wow, see, King Hua bought for me coffee. Yay, see? Okay, so several airlines were also came in and said that they will lower down their forecast because of the resurgence of the COVID. Indeed. So yesterday, United Airlines, American Airlines, Southwest Airlines all gave cautious comments. So it seems like everybody is getting worried for this. And of course, we know that on 21st to 22nd of September, there is a high chance, I repeat, a high chance that, in my opinion, there's a high chance that Jerome, Powell, and friends will likely taper. I mean that they'll signal when they'll taper. Likely they'll taper from December. Okay, because ECB side already announced that. So that's why likely this will cause a little bit of worry factor here. Right? Because ECB said that it will slow down the pace already. So with ECB doing it, it's kind of clear that likely the US Federal Reserve will also be doing that. Okay, so that all adds up together and cause a bit of worry for the market. So let's look at the Dow yesterday on our TWB system, and we see whether can we learn something from there. Now, first of all, yesterday the Dow Jones opening price was here, and we know that the KSI is green in color, so which means that if the Dow goes up, right, it will go to KTR plus 1, plus 2 rather easily. You go to KTR plus 1, plus 2 easily. Now, if it comes down, right, minimally KTR, downside will be around -1 to the most, at most -2. You can see the difference there. Okay. So what happened is that the Dow went up first, you can see. Then it crossed the pivot 1, which went higher. But after that, it reversed down. Now, if it reversed down and there's a color change at the pivot, that means that most likely the market will take profit. So I'm writing all this down in advance so that we can actually see whether later on the M15, right, does it really reflect exactly? And the incredible part is that the low of the day was 34,794, and our pivot 2 almost there. Oh my goodness, that means that we almost predicted the low of the day. Incredible, once again. All right, let's see this. Correct, this spread is a new BNB. We'll talk about this later. Huh? Okay, so what happened throughout the day? Let's take a look. Now at the start of the day, it came down first, there's no trigger. And then we came down further, there was still no trigger. And when it came down to KTR -1, there is a trigger. It's a BNB over here. So it was a valid buy. So if you bought here, it's nothing wrong. But after you buy, immediately the market came down, which triggered the stop loss. This one is outright lost money, outright, okay? Then after that, the market recovers, right? You notice that this is a zebra, red, yellow, but there is no BNB. I repeat, there were no BNB available on here. Now this one, if it touches, it will be a pivot trade, but apparently it missed by just a few points. So it's not a pivot trade. So honestly, there were no entry at this area. I repeat, no entry. So if that no entry, then no choice. We cannot really force it in. So we had to look at it, and then it went up to OP. Then at OP also got no color change, although we have a BNB, it shot up. So throughout the whole recovery, other than you do a discretional buy, there was no entry for us. Honestly, they're so a bit upset, right? Yellow. But the thing is, I told you before that if there's any color change that happened at the pivot, you must take note. And beautifully, it happened. CCYR. Now, CCYR trigger already the pivot. You do not need a BNB. I repeat, you do not need a BNB. And of course, you look carefully, the BNB happened to be here. Can you see that? The BNB happened to be here, and it happened to be the day high. Oh my goodness, a BNB happened at day high. I think you already know what's the likely outcome, right? And of course, what happened to the Dow Jones? It went all the way down to KTR -1. So once again, we may not have the chance to buy on the way up, but on the way down, we definitely have a very clear entry here. All right, very clear entry. All right, everybody understand what I just say about this Dow Jones? If yes, please key number 1 right now so that we can know that you guys are still following me. I know that at the end of the day, is that a lot of people want to ask us like, Kel, why don't we just have a rule and let us buy over here? I mean, seriously, there is no reason to do that. But of course, the KCB 34,816 was there. And we made, when the Dow was coming down, we did mention to you through the Telegram, we said that those people who shorten the market can consider a buy. And of course, Susan also, during her Susan Go Live, she also mentioned that the Dow has hit KCB, people can start to take profit. So you can see that we do remind you. But of course, taking profit and buying new position is totally different thing. So that's why, okay? Right, thank you, Brian, Fred, Chinqui, Janet, and Michael for your reply. Okay, for gold, we have interesting movement on gold. Now, gold opening price was between the two pivot. The KSI is red in color, so the downside pressure is there. Okay, and the blue bars are over there also, so that means that the downside pressure was there. So the downside pressure should bring it down to KTR -1 to -2 easily. All right, it should, right? But apparently it's all right. Even it goes up, the upside with the most KTR +1. +1 is possible, +2 will be tough. Okay, so let's take a look. So what happened? Interesting. This is very interesting. The market is supposed to go down, but the market didn't. In fact, it didn't even go near to the KTR -1. And then after that, it recovers above OP. Now, again, I will stress there was no trigger. I repeat, there were no trigger on this trade except for a KCX trade. Then the KCX trade, this is where you will buy. And of course, $2 later, you take your profit, correct? Yeah, that's all. There were no clear trigger at the OP for gold. So yesterday, also, nothing can be done. Then after that, when it hit a high, you notice this again. Do you notice that this is a BNB? Can you see that? Don't you realize that it's very interesting one? Once ever I see BNB or the high, I really love it because I know that if I don't mind taking a discretional trade, I can make some money. You understand my point, guys? I always say this: if you think that this is the low of the day or the high of the day during the day, and you know it's a BNB, then you can consider do a discretional trade. But of course, discretional trade will definitely cause risk. But if your risk is controlled, theoretically speaking, there's some money to be made. All right. So anyway, I'm just informing you. Whenever I see BNB, I get very excited. So what happened over here with a BNB followed by a CCYR, which is a trigger. It is a trigger, and that's why you can see gold came down. It rejected, but there's no BNB. I repeat, there's no BNB on the way up. So when it came back down again, there's no need to stop loss. And of course, the price went all the way down to somewhere around here, about 1783 level. Now, I did mention yesterday 1782 is a very important technical level, and crazily, you remember I tell you this, okay? I just say again, if the day low or the day low of the day happen to be a BNB, you can do something, right? And you see that again, a BNB come out of nowhere, the low of the day, and again the market goes up. So you find it very simple. You just have to wait for it. That's all. KCX at the bottom, you would have actually entered here, right? It's a very good trade. Now, earlier there's a KCX, there was KCX, but that one didn't make money, that one lost money. So 3 KCX trade, 2 make, 1 loss yesterday. But more important thing is that if you remember, I tell you, if you see a BNB as a low of the day, and if you have a trading call, wow, this is perfect. And of course, here is a KCX jump, and that will confirm the upside. So this buy over here was a very good buy. It's a very good buy because you have the BNB, you have trigger, you have KCX, you have KSI jump. This trade is a very, very good trade. All right. So of course it came very late now, but it is a very good trade. I think some of you caught it right. Congratulations to those who caught it. All right. So this is how you notice that BNB really is part of our life. You just have to notice them, and of course you will know how to, if you know how to utilize it, it'll be very good. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So now we go to the local and global news right now. Fed presidents Kaplan and Rosengren. All right, I'll pronounce this thing. Okay, apology. Then they are selling individual stocks holding to address ethics concern, because you know they've been buying some share for themselves. So the both of them been buying, and they are now because people to ask them, hey, you know what? People are watching you very closely. So now the thing is this: they are looking at them, and they say that they will sell their holdings, and because of whatever reason. Of course, it doesn't make sense, right? I mean, you're a Fed chief, and I mean, you're federal officials, and you're buying stocks. And obviously you know when to buy, when not to buy, so people get very upset. But I'm just thinking out loud, it's all right. You talk about them, how about Pelosi and husband? I'm just thinking about it. All right, and apparently for them, when they buy, their value is about $1 million. I mean, compared to Pelosi and husband, this is nothing, man. Because Pelosi and husband, they are like 3-5 million level, no? So I also don't know what it's all about, but anyway, I mean, we should know that they shouldn't be involved. So that's why it's good that they come out and say, okay, let's take it out, okay? Now, more important thing is that AMC and Gamestop see retail trading interest dip as more new meme stocks come to play. So apparently, right, Gamestop share, AMC shares, all these counters are one of the favorite. Then after that, a while, people get tired of this, and then they don't care. Now got more counters coming in. So I just purposely show you the stock yesterday. Yesterday, GameStop opened a gap down, right? Then after that, the buyers came in and they pushed it up all the way to close almost with a positive note, in fact. All right, you can see that. Then this is AMC, also same thing, it gapped down, but after that, the market pushed it up. So market after a while later, when you put it back to the Wall Street bet, people start to get attention again. So this was happening. Now, we also know in crypto front, Ukraine is the latest country to legalize Bitcoin. So now we have Ukraine. So now in a nearly anonymous vote, okay, they are looking to adopt the legal tender to become, use the Bitcoin as a legal tender. All right. So this is the 5th country, FYI. It's not the first country, not the 3rd country, but the 5th country that put down some ground rule for the cryptocurrency market. So it seems that definitely now Bitcoin is here to stay already. Because so many countries now are involved, you cannot just stick it away. It will cause a very big problem. It can create a very big issue. So that's why now the demand for Bitcoin get better and better. All right. So dear all, I say again, if there's any chance for you to buy the cryptocurrency at a cheaper price later, when there's a pullback, do consider it could really spread. All right. So we have El Salvador, okay, the first country to adopt Bitcoin. And after that, Cuba came in. Then of course, these are all the small countries, all right, but definitely they are still countries. You have to give respect to that itself. And of course, Panama will also be next one. The Central American country is going to do their own cryptocurrency law. So it seems that more and more of these people, they're doing that, more of the countries doing that, because their own currency cannot take it. I mean, their currency really got no demand. So that's why it's not a wrong thing to do. It's a smarter thing to do if they want to survive. That's how I see it, okay? All right. So, of course, Mastercard came in. They also make a very big bet on crypto, buying blockchain analytics, cipher trades. All right. So, apparently, more and Mastercard coming in means that they also, you don't want to go against companies like this. They are one of the kingpin in the credit market. So they are also doing this. Now this tells you that crypto space is here to stay. So I believe that at the moment now, this price at 47,000 for Bitcoin, in my books, is kind of expensive right now to jump in, but definitely long haul, this thing is getting clearer that it is here to stay. All right, it's here to stay. Okay. All right. So any important information for reference before we go to the charts? Well, we have now Santoli says that okay, the S&P has to watch some serious level because that could bring some selling. Okay, so apparently now the S&P is still 2 to 3% above the area where the medium-term trend comes into question. So this is a neckline. I told you before it's about 4,400. I told you before. So if the market stays above it, the neckline is still okay. But if the market goes below the neckline or go near the neckline, traders have to be very careful. And of course, currently now the price, the forward price earning of the index is about just 21 for 4 months already. So if the market thinks that this is a bit expensive, there could be some profit taking. So that's why you can see that the S&P has been slowly moving downwards. This is a forward earnings. So from October on, from last year October onwards, right, the forward earnings have been declining. So this actually tells you that the companies overall ain't doing that well, but it's just some of the selected companies that are being pushed up to record level, right, that's holding the index. So on normal itself, right, the forward PE ratio is about 18. So now we are 21. It's kind of still high for time being. That's an average itself is about 18. All right, during the pandemic time, it went down to as low as 14. So that was a very good buy. So next time you ever see the PE rate, the forward PE ratio go down to 14, do really go in to buy as much as you can, because you can see that things really, do very well after this. Okay. All right, so of course there are more details. All right, all the airlines now they have this negative guidance, so that's why they need to be very careful. All right, because if this COVID variant continue, it may actually dampen the whole entire travel industry. And of course, the NASDAQ 100, which is the top 100 NASDAQ counters, also seem to be a bit sluggish recently. All right, because again, if Federal Reserve is going to taper, this will create a bit of dampener into this sector. And of course, some traders who track the mechanics and the derivative flows are saying that now the market seemingly might go into a bit of volatility. All right. Now, for those who subscribe to the alternate market views, all right, I've shared before that the SKEW index, SKEW index, is getting at the higher band right now. In fact, the highest for the last 8 years. And that means that traders are getting more and more worried that there could be a shakeup in the market. All right, now this is the NAAM. This is the data that I did show you before. That shows that the active trading advisors are moving away from the stock market a bit. All right, they are not that keen to get involved in stock. That's why you can see that the market index have not crossed 100 for some time already. So it's very interesting that the Dow Jones is still going up and everything's still going up, right? But the market ain't really following. Okay. All right. And of course, most important thing is this: Janet Yellen urged Congress to raise debt limit, warned Pelosi about the extraordinary measures running out soon. Now, everybody has been focusing on the tapering, but I did mention to you the Treasury is more important, because once the Treasury side actually have a default or they need the money back because they have been the one putting a lot of money in the system, if they actually don't have, we will have a problem. And that's why Yellen reiterate that lawmakers have until some point in October. Remember this Tom Lee says that, right, by October there could be really big movement coming in, and I believe this is the problem, but he didn't really say, but now we can see it. Okay. All right, so the thing is this: they have to get it done. Of course, we know that all these could be a lot of wayang, they'll ding dong eventually pass through. But you must understand that if this pass through, right, there'll be a sudden drop in the supply of the money in the market. There will be profit taking. So that's why I can understand why October, no matter whether what happened, okay, there will be a credit crunch. There will be money taken back away from the system. So that is whereby October could be a very dangerous period. All right. So if the market wants to take advantage of this, they can push up September to let everybody goes in and they cash out. And then of course, once October comes, everybody go out. All right. So this is also very possible. Okay. So we've done all the news. Let's study the charts for today. The bull goes moo, the bear goes grrr, and the flamingo is different this time. All right. Let's bring up the chart right now, everybody. Okay, so let's look at the China A50 as usual. China A50 this morning. Now, yesterday, China beautifully came down to the MA30 level and rebounded. Look at it. It hit the MA30 level and rebounded. Let's do a quick recap of yesterday's movement. All right, you can see yesterday, the China A50 did a lot. Yesterday, A50 was very crazy. There's a lot of big, gigantic movement here. Then after that, it came down. Once it hit the MA30, do you notice that it stopped there, rebound, went down, rebound? So again, I say to you guys that when you trade the market, right, if you're looking at MA30 to buy, you buy somewhere around here, example on hindsight, and your stop loss can put it here or put it here. Now, if the market goes up, you can see that your profit itself is minimally one-fold. So that's the reason why I will really think that you need to understand how to use the MA30 or MA200 to your advantage. So later on at 2 p.m., I will also be using the MA30 as a guidance just to show you how MTrader trades, not MA30, but how she trades and what is the risk management that she used that made her to become where she is today. All right, so later on at 2 p.m., do join us if you can. Okay, it'll be a very good session, all right, to learn from it. Okay, okay, so got an idea now? Okay, let's go back to today's market, okay? Now, so today's market for China A50, let's take a look. So almost at the MA30 is the same, so I will not change. The MLP today is somewhere around here. So we are now slightly below MLP, but above MA30. So as long as the China A50 stays above the MA30, the upside is still going to be there. I repeat, the upside is still going to be there. Okay. Now for Hang Seng, for Hang Seng today, let's look at the today's Hang Seng. Okay, so today Hang Seng, you can see now. Now yesterday Hang Seng broke below the MLP. Sorry, yesterday market was below MLP, but the MA30 was here. Okay, the red line, right? Let's do a quick recap. Yesterday for Hang Seng, quick recap. Okay, so yesterday you can see the same thing too for Hang Seng. It was the MA30 was at the bottom of this bottom here. The market came down, rejected. But once it loses the MA30 level, you look at Hang Seng immediately from this point plunged down more than 292 points. So again, this tells you a lot on how to use the MA30, all right? So that is what happened. Recap, So how about today then? Okay, so for today, let's take a look. Now today, the MA30 is somewhere near here, okay, which happened to just strike a chord with the high of the day. The MLP also must bring down with something very near to the MA30. So today, the MA30 and the MLP is very close to one another. So if Hang Seng cannot go above the MA30, which is 25,880, there will be some profit taking. All right, so I'll write down for you. Okay, so today's the MA30, 25,880 is going to be a critical level for the Hang Seng. All right, if Hang Seng goes above 25,880, we should see some upside. If it stays below the BNB SL level here, you can see that, then there might be some profit taking. All right, so traders just kindly take note of that. Okay, so for those who are trading Hang Seng, do also take notice of that. Okay. Yep. Okay, let me just. Yeah, every morning I will receive a lot of messages on once Hang Seng open. I receive messages. Yeah, I mean the traders around me have been performing, put it this way. They're doing pretty decent for Hang Seng trading. Yeah, indeed. Okay, all right. Let's look at the Hang Seng today day chart. Okay, so interesting. Hang Seng today, the opening price is actually again above pivot 1. So again, means that with the KSI green, as long as Hang Seng stays above OP, Hang Seng will be up. Because above OP, above pivot 1 is a buy. Okay, above OP, above pivot 1 is a buy. If the market goes below OP, then that's it. You can't do anything because that is what we call as this uncertainty zone. We normally don't trade. Only if it goes down below. By the time we go down below, it's quite like more than 2 KTR, right? So maybe not a good advice to do that. And today KSI is green, so upside potential is more towards the upside potential. So traders do take note of that. Okay. Okay, so we have done Hang Seng for today. I'll come back to this later. Let's look at the US market right now. Now, yesterday, I shared with you that the opening price and the high of the Dow Jones were the same. So I did tell you that if the market goes down, it's expected. But I also mentioned that if the market recovers and break the OP, then of course, all the sellers will have to cut their losses and then go up. So that's why the price shoot up. Okay, so yesterday we have this incredible movement. Now, what is more important is that yesterday, you can see the MLP was there. So when the market broke the MLP, it went up. But when the market loses the MLP, it came down. So again, the MLP plays a very critical part to tell you that where to buy, where to sell. And of course, today, the MLP will be drawn here, all right, somewhere here. Okay, so now we have the MLP drawn. We have the MA30 is on top. That is where now the bearishness will start to really kick in. Can you see that? Now, what we can see very clearly now, we have the MLP, we have the MA30. So if the market stays below OP, right, there is a possibility to see the Dow Jones going down further. I repeat, there is a possibility for the Dow Jones to trade down further. So my stand is this: if the Dow Jones do pull back, it's a good thing. And in fact, if the market can go down to the MA200, it will be a better deal. If you go to the 95%, it will be much, much better, because that is where we can look for buying opportunity. So that is my view over here for the Dow. Okay, so my long-term view is that I will look to, if the market call for sell, we will sell. But once it hits some technical point, we look to buy. Okay, you heard me, loud and clear, buy. Okay, so this is one part of it. Now, we know that we also have a BMB, right? You can see there's a BMB, right? Okay, now you can see that it's a BMB. So it's a BMB. Now you see a very interesting phenomenon, all right? Take a look, everybody. Now, if this is a BMB that we can see, we also know that if the market goes down below the SL, there is a possibility it will go down all the way to this point here, and that's 34,378. Now, of course, that is a bit of distance away, about 500 points, but that is the entire, that's what it can possibly be happening. So traders must take note of that. But the upside is even more interesting now. If the market goes up instead, right, it will actually breaks above the MA30, which is a very positive thing. And you notice that if it goes higher, if you go to the TP point, you notice that the TP point will also be actually near, or if not, higher than the latest new all-time high. And the latest new all-time high, do you notice also, is actually a BMB. Do you notice that? Okay, that means that the recent all-time high that happened in August is a BMB. And we all know that, right? If the high of the market is a BMB, usually we might actually see the tip. This is the peak of the market, and we can see selling. So it did came down for a while, and then it recovered pretty fast, right? But when it came back up, right, you notice that it never went up higher. And of course, it basically consolidated for quite a few days. Then now it broke down. So if you look at it from the long haul, it does seem to be that it's a higher possibility for the Dow Jones to come down to this point. Okay, there's a higher possibility, higher. All right. Indeed, it could be a bull trap. Yes, indeed, it could be at this point here itself, this Colleen. So that's why traders, if you remember, during this period of time, many traders were calling for more upside, but it didn't manifest. And in fact, now the market came down in this manner. So that's why I believe that if the Dow Jones loses the BMB SL point, which created by yesterday, which is 34,794, the downside potential to 34,378 is actually there. Okay. Now, of course, I repeat myself again. If the market can recover And once it can cross through this RL level, the probability to go up all the way here is very, very high already. So traders, this is where we are right now. You must make your decision on which side of it you're looking at, and must know that some of the technical point you must take note. Okay, all these are the technical points to take note so that you can actually have the advantage to be ahead of the market. Okay, all right. Okay, so that is the Dow chart. Now the Dow weekly chart yesterday, I already give you a very long example of what I'll see for the weekly chart, and I already tell you that if we have two black candle, next week will be very critical. Next week will be very critical. So I hope that if you didn't join us yesterday, go through it yesterday's replay, and you will know that I did a very what do you call, a pretty long sharing on the weekly chart. All right. So my stand is still there, huh? All right. So let's look at the Dow Jones for today. Okay, the Hang Seng is still not moving much, huh? Still pretty flat. Okay, so for Dow Jones today, let's take a look. We have a bit of problem, guys. Now, the Dow Jones KSI is red. So that means that there's some profit taking today. And the opening price happened to be between the two period. So there's a very important KCB today at 34,816. Now, this 34,816 came from this guy here. Can you see that? And every time the market hit this point, it will always cause the market to recover. So already it happened twice in a row back in August, and yesterday it displayed its power again by making sure the Dow stays above 34,816. So 3 days, I mean 3 separate days, but strong support. So as long as the market stays above OP, no problem. But if the market really loses this 816 level, then we have a problem, because it will likely be going to the next KCB, and the next KCB will be 34,533. So that means that there could be another 300 points, 350 points drop if the market loses the 34,816 level. So traders, again, you need to watch. But if KSI is red, it's kind of like giving more to the downside pressure already. Okay, so traders, just take note of that. NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ, apparently, I did mention to you that NASDAQ is probably a good time to take some profit off the table, because if, let's say, ECB do tapering, definitely all the European companies will take a bit of hit, and that will have repercussion effect onto the US front. And that's why I believe that we're going to see some profit taking to at least the MA30 level. So the MA30 level, although the market is coming down, but mathematically it will go up. That's how it works. Okay, and then what happened? Okay, so for today, the MLP was also triggered yesterday and pulled back. So for today, NASDAQ, this is MLP somewhere around here, and that will be the important point to watch out for. So for NASDAQ today, the MLP will be 15,596. Okay, 15,596. I write down for you. I can't see it, right? MLP 15,596 for the NASDAQ MLP. Okay, so the MA30 will be 15,426 level. So if the NASDAQ do pull back, then this will be the first support. So I believe that 15,426 will be the first support for the NASDAQ. Okay, all right, so traders, do take note of that. Okay, so let's look at the NASDAQ for today using the TWB system. All right, the KSI is still green, so it's still a good thing for buyers. The market has been down. There's a CCYR, right? Okay, been down for the second day, but it's still hanging right nicely at the cage SL level. So as long as the cage support it, still okay. And the KSI is green, still okay. So overall for NASDAQ, even though there's some profit taking on the TWB front, as long as stay above OP, things are okay. But if it loses OP and goes below the cage, then there might be profit taking to 15,526 first. But the KCB at 15,438 is more likely the level that I believe it will be going down. So if you lose the cage today, this level here at 15,438 could be the level that the market could be heading to just for a temporary pullback. Now, of course, you must understand for stocks itself, right? 70% of the time, it will be favoring the bulls. only 20% of the time it favors a bear, and only 10% of the time the sideways market will kick in, the consolidation period. So that is the reason why any pullback itself, right, in the bull market or uptrend market is more for buying. Unless the whole thing change and become a bearish tone, then it's going to be opposite. All right, so traders, you need to take note of that. Huh? Okay, so that is the NASDAQ. All right, so let's look at S&P 500. Now, S&P 500 was beautiful yesterday. I mentioned to you there's MLP at 45.17. It went past it. Then in the evening, it came back down. And once it loses MLP, you can see that the market come down pretty fast. And amazingly, it stopped exactly near the MA30 level that I mentioned. So now it's at a crucial point. Today, the MA30 is at 44.94. As long as S&P can stay above 44.94, the S&P should go higher. All right. But if S&P fail to stay above 44.94, then the selling could be drastic. It could bring it all the way down to 44.39. Okay, so I'm going to put it down for you. You must take note of that. S&P 500 today, 44.94 is a very crucial level for the S&P 500. Okay, crucial. Huh? So if the market can stay above 44.94, the market will be still positive. Okay, all right, take note of that. 44.94. So right now for you. Okay, 44.94 level. Oh, okay. All right. Hang Seng has went up. Huh? I told you Hang Seng will likely be going up, remember? Okay, Hang Seng first. Since we were Hang Seng. Okay, Hang Seng, I told you this morning is a buy as long as stay above OP, right? Wow, you see that? Beautiful. Hang Seng basically went up. Okay, I told you before, as long as today is above OP, CCRY is a buy, and indeed it has went up already to KTR +1. Remember why? Because it's above pivot 1. I told you many times, above OP, above pivot 1, by default, okay, OP plus above OP, above pivot 1, CCRY is a buy. And of course, if you purchase it here, you will actually make money already. You see that? So this is really a very incredible system that you already know what to do. You don't need to think, no need to draw trend. You just have to follow through and make money. Right? For those who make money in Hang Seng, how many of you make money in Hang Seng? If you make money in Hang Seng, please type HK. If you have made money from Hang Seng Index, please type HK. All right. Okay, congratulations to those who have made money. All right, for my side, yes, I did. All right, so I'm doing my MAO stuff, right? Actually make money from Hang Seng. Oh, okay, King Hua also made money from Hang Seng. Yay, not bad. Anybody else? Wow. Wow, Stanley also made. Wow, Anthony also made. Wow, this Judy also made. Wow, Wei Xiong also made. Wow, Tan Kim Lai also made. Oh, wow, okay. Wow. Very good, guys. Those who make money in Hang Seng, for those in the M1 trading, can you post your winnings into the Telegram so that I can extract that out and then share with more students? I mean, this is the way you see it. Once you make money in Hang Seng today, you can call it off today, that's rest. I mean, during Asia timing, we trade Hang Seng makes sense. At least you don't need to waste your time to look at the Dow Jones or to go until late hours and can't sleep. You get worried. Hang Seng, you earn the same money and you get the rest for the rest of the day. Isn't that better? Okay, cool, right? Thank you so much, guys. Okay, S&P, right? Okay. Okay, for the S&P today, we have a bit of trouble here for S&P. Take a look. Okay, for S&P, it continued to do the CCYR positioning, and the KSI has turned red color, so it's not a very good sign. So I will say up front first, if the S&P do drop down further, there is a very good chance if we're going down to 44.74. Now, for those who shorted the S&P with us on the SNG group, all right, okay, or those who shorted Dow Jones, also do note that if the S&P hit 44.74, it will be a good level to consider to buy back your position. 44 74 level, the very good level to buy back. What that is the fresh chocolate bar. Unless you really think that you go down worse, then the next level it will be 44.93. Okay, 44.93. I'm not saying that you won't go there, but I think that you should be, you know, you don't need to really aim at all the low level. Do take partial profit at 44.74 first. Then after that, take more profit at 44.39. You know, that'll be a better idea. Okay. All right. So consider doing that. Okay. All right. Congratulations to those who make money on Hong Kong. Wow. Good job done. Okay. All right. So that is the S&P. So let's look at the DAX market. Now, DAX yesterday did gap down. I told you it gap down, but it recovered very strongly. But because it is still below MA30, it's below the MLP. So no matter how, the market still stay down. Okay, you can see that. So for today, it's a bit different. Today, the MLP is here. So likely, I kind of expect that it will also gap down today because the Dow closes down. But likely, the support, it will be somewhere very near to the MA200. Okay, I believe that the support will be at MA200. So for traders who want to buy DAX, may I advise you to look out for the DAX around here at 15,325. But of course, with tapering on the table, maybe that's why it should really stay out for a while unless you see a very strong support. So maybe at around this point here, MA200, if it actually stays there, supported, maybe you can consider to buy back some position, or you can go long, small long around this area. Okay. Okay. So that is the DAX market. Okay, done. DAX done. Okay. So now look at the Nikkei. Now Nikkei continue to try to stay above the 30,000 mark. All right. Every time Nikkei came down to 30,000, the buyers came in. Every time the buyers came in. So for today, the MLP is somewhere here, and I think that it almost got triggered this morning, and now it's trying to stay above trying to go above the 30,200 level. Now this 30,200 level is a very strong resistance, and if the market can go past it, then of course that will present further upside. All right, let me just show you why I draw this. Now this is how I draw this. I took the chocolate bar from here. It's a KCB level now, and you can see that the market is trying its best to climb above it now. You can see that I'm trying to climb above it. Okay, so traders take note of that. But of course, the current RSI now is kind of very high level, so maybe a bit of pullback is expected first before another wave of upside. Okay, so that is the Nikkei. And of course, you put a Nikkei chart into the picture with our TWB system. You can see that today's Nikkei, the opening price actually is opening below Pivot 2 again, but the KSI remain green. So if the Nikkei can go past Pivot 2, the upside will be there. But if it loses OP, then there will be some selling. So traders must watch out for the OP of today for Nikkei, and that's 30,070 level. All right, we cover this later, more about this when the day goes by through Telegram. Okay, so I covered all the indices already. Now let's look at the commodities. Okay, go. Now, let me ask all of you guys, those who are online now, 53 of you, how many of you are bullish? How many are bearish in gold? Please key your answer right now. Can I have at least 20 answers so I will get to see the feel of this? Can y'all graciously do that? All right, can y'all do and type to me, are you bullish or are you bearish in gold? All right, let me see what's the consensus. Judy is bullish. Anyone? Michael bullish. Brian bearish. Toming bullish. Okay, 40. How about the rest? Kinghua bear. Jason bear. 6. Any more? I mean, there's 53 of you. I'm quite sure not everyone here is driving, but I'm also very sure that many of you are gold traders, right? So can you try to put some own view onto this? Let me see what's the consensus. Okay, Ho Seng bull, Wei Xiong bull, Jerry bear, Kim Lai temporarily short bear, Anthony bullish, Karen bearish. Okay, all right. So about 14 of your 15. Min Hui bullish. Anybody else? By the way, Hang Seng is still running up. Hang Seng is still running up. You see that? Above OP, above pivot 1, please don't fight with it. Okay, I already said this many times already. Never fight above OP, above pivot 1. Okay, Fred bearish. So it's almost like every bear there's a bull, there's every bull there's a bear. So it's like the whole camp is now split between bull and bear right now. Okay, so that's why I say it's very important for us to have a bit of consensus here, so we can actually see everybody's view. Okay, so let's us be objective with the sharing today. Okay, let me just be very objective here. Okay, now if you look at it today, we take away or we look at the whole chart for today, you can see that by right, any technical trader will tell you the chart is bearish. Why do I say that? Because it's below MA 200, is below MA 30. So just these two alone is bearish. Okay, now this is just pure technical. Okay, pure technical. Okay, so for today, first of all, I will put in my MLP first. This is my MLP, right? The MLP tells me that as long as gold stays above MLP, it should be bullish for now. Yesterday, it happened like this. Yesterday, the MLP was something similar here. That's why when the gold went up, right, it was bearish because it was below MA 30 and below MA 200 yesterday. But when it crossed MLP, it turns bullish for the day itself. So you must understand the MLP plays a very important part when you're actually trading with the market. So for today, it's still bearish in terms of MA, but it's bullish because of the MLP. So unless gold goes below MLP, then it will really become a sell signal again. So today, gold 1791 is very crucial. 1791 is very crucial. So 1791, very crucial to the gold market. Okay. Then the MA 30, let's take a look. Now, MA 30. The MA 30 for today is 1797. 1797. Now, the last few days when the market breaks above MA, it went up. Okay, can you see that? It went up. Then after that, it came back down also very fast. So this 1797 will become a very strong resistance for gold today, 1797. Okay. The MA 200 is 1802, and that's been the same number for quite a few days already. So 1802 will be the ultimate resistance for gold, 1802. Okay, so now very simple. As long as gold stays above 1791, gold is still bullish in a bearish situation. Okay, I repeat, it's a bullish stance in the bearish situation. Then if you can cross 1797, it will give further upside. It could be a resistance, so traders can take partial profits around there. Then after that, if it goes up higher, 1802 will be a very important resistance. If you can cross the 1802, then the whole thing will change around. But on the flip side, it could be the one that's holding down the gold market. Okay, so you can see that this is what we will do for intraday today. So intraday level, I will tell you already, right? Intraday level, I'll write it for you. Gold, okay, MLP is estimated at 1791, MA 30 estimate at 1797, and MA 200 estimate at 1802. So all these are the critical level to watch out for. So as long as the market, you're trading gold today, these are the crucial level to take note. Okay. All right. So that is the today's intraday analysis. But you look at now from my Fibonacci. Okay. Yesterday we do a lesson on Fibonacci, right? Now you can look at this. This is my own Fibonacci drawing. Now you can still see that it is still hanging between the 61.8 to the 38.2. So overall itself, right, in the trending formation, we are still in so-called a downtrend formation. So which means that the market itself, right, is still not ready to explode to the upside yet. But that is a good time to look out for buying opportunity if you are bullish for gold in the long haul. Okay. All right. So where it's looking at is this: if ever one day the market broke away from the downtrend channel, this could actually bring gold all the way up to 2,000 mark. So that's why I will say that if you want to buy gold, you can nibble gold. All right, the downside pressure, you already know that right? The downside pressure is still there. The Fibonacci at 50% is at 1762. The 61.8 is at 1689 level. All right. Well, I just saw Hang Seng has just broken above. Wow, Hang Seng has just broken above 26,000. You see that? Very important. Huh? Even Dow Jones was down yesterday. It doesn't mean that the Hang Seng must go down. No? Yes, that's why I say cannot do normal inference or Dow Jones down, Hang Seng will be down. It doesn't work that way. Okay, Hang Seng has mind on its own. You just have to follow the technicals. All right. Okay, so this is what you can see on the gold market. All right. So how about the gold today? Right, for gold today, let's take a look. Okay, so for gold today, we still have the CCYR dampener, the day chart. KSI is still red, blue bar is still around. So overall, for gold right now, it's still kind of weak. Okay, kind of weak. All right, so today's KSI is red. So which means that if gold goes up, right, the upside is about KTR +1 to maximum KTR +2. Downside pressure to go to KTR -1 to -2 is higher. Okay. So traders, if you really want to buy, you want to really buy from the lower end so that you can try to bottom pick. If not, it's all right, you do the follow through buying. All right, there's two ways of looking at it. You buy from the bottom or you do the follow through buying. So that is gold for now. But of course, there's a cage right here now. A new cage is formed. If the new cage, if the market broke above the cage 1800, that means at least it will clear the MA30. All right. Okay. All right. So that is the gold. Silver. Now, silver, yesterday I told you already, right? It's going to be supported soon at $23.93. And indeed, yesterday, silver really tried to recover. Then, of course, the later part, there was some profit taking on silver. But you can see silver is still staying very firmly at about the $23.93 level, which I've been telling you is a kind of strong support. And look at it, silver have been doing that for a few days already. So with this silver behaving like that, right, I kind of cannot deny that gold can't go down that much, at least for now. Okay, can't go down that much for now. Okay. All right, so clear on this silver. Okay. Last but not least, we talk about crude oil. Now, crude oil, you can see yesterday the Dow was down, the crude oil was down. So you can see the inference there. But amazingly, you also notice that the crude oil came down, right? It did not close really below the MA30 level. So today, MA30 level is adjusted a little bit to the downside. But as long as the market stays above the MA30 level, the crude oil may recover. Okay, may recover. All right. So this is the MLP here itself for the crude oil. Now, I said yesterday, I did say this also. I did say that if crude oil goes down, and then the what do you call this Dow Jones will go down, right? That means the whole US front is not very promising. All right. So that's why you have to be careful on that. Okay. And it's a BNB, right? So it's a new BNB means I can, yeah, here we go. Yeah, the new BNB RL will be $71.92. The SL means the one-time-one, sorry. The minus one-time-one will be 65.11. Okay, 65.11. If the market breaks below MA 200, then selling should be quite possible. Okay, so that is what we have right now for the crude oil. Let's look at crude oil today. Okay, Nikkei is trying to stay above the MA pivot 2. Now for crude oil today, we have a problem. We have a CCYR and the opening price is below pivot 2. KSI is red. So which means that crude oil today has to stay above OP. Crude oil has to stay above OP. If crude oil loses OP, then we may see some selling. And of course, if crude oil do come down, we may see equity market going down further. Yeah. So If crude oil goes down, $65.40 will be the support level here, because that's a fresh chocolate bar. So all I can say is this: today, again, for crude oil, it seems that it's against the current, the position of today is kind of important. If it cannot stay above OP, right, crude oil can actually come down to as much as $65.40. Okay, and we have a BNB some more, right? So that's why the problem is even bigger. So cannot lose the yesterday's low. If you lose yesterday's low, then there should be some real selling in the market already. Okay. All right, let's look at the Hang Seng. It's really ripping up. Wow, you see that Hang Seng is really ripping up now, cross the MLP, cross the MA30, and now it's going up to 26,050 already. See, I tell you, right, this is how Hang Seng behaves. It doesn't really care about fundamental. It doesn't care anything. China A50 should be up, right? I think. Yeah, that's why. See, China A50 broke above MLP, straight away shoot up. That's the push factor lah. That's why you can see that the Hang Seng is all going up. So the thing is this, guys, I already tell you, please make sure that when you do trading in the market, always be objective. Don't care what happened fundamentally. You can use it as a reference guide, but the technical call for buy, you just have to follow through. Okay? Right, last two will be Bitcoin. Now you can see that Bitcoin today is an inverse pivot. I confirm this again. Yes, indeed, today Bitcoin is an inverse pivot. So which means that as long as Bitcoin stays above OP, Bitcoin today is a buy. But if Bitcoin stays below OP, it will be pulled down to this point here to 44,625. So now it's 46,000, right? So you have to stay up. If it goes below OP, it will be dragged down all the way to 44,000. All right. KSI is green, blue bars are there, but not strong enough to call for a sell yet at the moment. But this BNB definitely is a very big one. So the upside potential, if you look at it, okay, the whole entire range. So the entire range for this, you can see is here, right? So much, right? 10,000 point, 10,000. So let's put a BNB in. Okay, this, oh yeah, wait, wrong, I should put here, wait. Indicator list, BNB to come first. Okay, I go into this one, yeah, so I can see better. Yeah. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Now, what is insane is that, right, if you look carefully now on the Bitcoin, if you believe in my BNB theory, okay, you can see that if the Bitcoin recovers, cross 52,000, the recent high, it will go all the way up to 63,000, and that will be likely going to break the all-time high. So that means that for Bitcoin, there is a possibility that it will go to all-time high again if, let's say, the market recovers and goes up. So Bitcoin MA7, okay, very critical level is at 48,000 flat. Okay, 48,000 flat. So which means that if Bitcoin can stay above 48,000, I will say that it will test 51,000 first, because that's a 61.8 Fibonacci level. But once it crosses it and cross 52,000, 63K will be next already. Pretty clear. Okay, pretty clear. All right. And if it goes down, the support at the MA70 will be at about 42,000. So the support. So if anybody want to like put a support level to buy, it'll be at 42,000. So if you want to like, you know, put a buy limit order and you don't mind keeping it, if you just crash down suddenly, 42,000 will be a level to watch out. But of course, if it really goes down below 42, the BNB level says that it will go down to 32. So which means that over here itself is 32,000. So if you are buying 42,000, do note the downside can stretch you down to 32,000. So for those who are going to put a buy limit at 42, just take note that 32 is still going to be just only a minus 1 times 1 level on Bitcoin. So the range is very big. Of course, the profit is also fantastic. The downside pressure is also there. So make sure you do your mathematics properly first before you jump into the market. Okay, so that is the Bitcoin. And how about Ethereum? There we go. Ethereum, we also have already triggered, the market came down, triggered the BNB minus 1 times 1. So now for this Ethereum, the MA7, yeah, 11, sorry, MA11 is at 35.83 as a resistance, and the support is still at the 2800 level. Okay, so for Ethereum, it's kind of flat at the moment, not much movement now for Ethereum. So, but if Ethereum can recover, because they already hit the minus 1 times 1, it should cross back to 4,000 again. So for Ethereum, the upside, the current support now will be here at about 3380 level. If it can stay up, Ethereum can go back all the way up to 4,000 again. Okay, 4,000 again. All right, so that's why we need to see whether can the market sustain itself at this 3380 level. Okay, so that is the big Ethereum. That's the Ethereum for the TWB chart for today. To wrap it up, for the TWB chart, also an inverse pivot, incredible, 2 inverse pivot. Okay, on the same industry. All right, so but then the KSI is red in color also, so which means that Ethereum, it must stay above OP. If not, it's all right. It will pull back to 3367, which is a pivot 2 level. So traders need to make sure on that. Okay, all right, so that will be all for today's MAO. I already finished everything here itself. Do note once again, today there's 2 things to take note. Today, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., we'll be doing a little special enrichment session whereby we talk about how and what MTrader did when she was 5 years ago, $3,000 capital. What is her Eureka moment? And from there, how did she position herself to trade to today's success? Okay. Then, of course, later on at 3 p.m., that will be the final show for Susan. Final show for Susan go live. Please support her. All right, go and support her for today. This is her 80th show. All right, she really 70th show. Sorry. She really deserves all our attention. All right, do join in. All right, it will be a great time together. All right, that will be all for today, and I will see you again on Monday. All right, for our morning MAO. All right, this is Kel signing off. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.